College Soccer 360 here with a little bonus interview with Charlotte head coach Jeremy Gunn. And Coach, just wanted to go quickly through your background, starting with when you came over to the States to play collegiately at Cal State Bakersfield. I believe the coach out there was English, and that probably had something to do with your decision. But just walk us back to when you made that decision, if you ever thought you'd be sticking in the States and being involved in American soccer this long.
No, when I got the offer, I was sitting in rainy England and got the opportunity to come out to California. And the lure of the sun and the sand was just far too much. The problem was my coach at the time, who recruited me, lied a little bit and said we were 15 minutes from the beach. And when I arrived there, we were in the middle of the desert, almost in Bakersfield. But I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I came out to the States just originally for half a year, just to defer entry to university in England, and just figured I'd come out and have a little bit of fun. And I got spoiled. I enjoyed it a lot, and my first year was tough as a player as well, and I kind of felt I had something to prove, and so stuck it out, and then carried on with the university afterwards as an assistant coach while playing after college and doing my masters, and then really just got into the coaching because I just wanted to stay out in the States and I wanted to keep playing soccer, and it was the best way to do it at the time. Simon Tobin, he's still the coach there and has an incredible program. He actually came out to one of the select games to watch another young man, and he actually liked two other players on my team a lot more than he liked me. They'd already agreed to go professionally, so he kind of got stuck with third choice, and so out I came.
You also coached the women. I don't think women's soccer, especially back then, was real big in England. What did you take from that experience?
It certainly wasn't as big at the time, but from day one, coming over to the States, I'd got involved with youth coaching, and so I'd coached the high school girls, different club teams in Bakersfield, and when the chance arose to start the new women's program at Bakersfield, it worked out as a great opportunity for me. I was still pretty young at the time, and Simon Tobin was the head coach of both programs, and I was the assistant of both. But, you know, he entrusted me with having the head coach responsibilities for the women for the first couple of years, and then the men the last year, even though he could have had me just chasing after him on both sides. So, you know, I owe him an awful lot for those opportunities, and so it was quite different, but also very much the same. You still have the same principles, and just driven people who want to do well understand how important it is to work hard and to work together.
Fort Lewis out in Durango, Colorado. Had a great experience. I think you went to 3 national title games and winning in maybe 2005. Just tell us a little bit about your experience at Fort Lewis and how it helped shape you as a coach.
It was an unbelievable experience. It was quite intimidating going out there. I think just maybe 26 at the time, and some of the players were just about my age actually, and it was an unbelievable program already. Coach Fishbein, who's now at New Mexico, had brought together a great group of players. They'd been in the national tournament a couple of years in a row, and they'd got knocked out in the first round, so they'd been gaining that experience, and managed to go in and inherit a great older group that were very, very good, and just had 8 wonderful years coaching there. It's a beautiful part of the country, very isolated though, but just had a great time there. Was fortunate to have some very good soccer players there, some great people, and also with a small town, as you know, we had an unbelievable soccer community behind us. What's been a bigger challenge at Charlotte is that it is a big city and we're surrounded by so many other things that it's a little bit harder work to create that community feel, but through the hard work of the players getting out onto the fields and getting out around the clubs and getting people's support, you know, we've created a great tight-knit soccer community in Charlotte, even though it's a big city with lots of other things.
Charlotte job comes open, and obviously you apply, and sometimes when schools are in a position like this, they might look to a D1 assistant, but in this case they look to you as a D2 head coach. How do you feel you sold yourself on the job to the Charlotte folks, and because you had to clearly show them why you felt you could step up to the D1 job?
You should probably get one of my bosses who's standing behind you. I think that the funniest part of that story was we went through the interview, and Kim can correct me on this, but the question was, he seems too nice to be able to control a group of rowdy guys, and so it was funny. We went through the interview, and I was trying to be on my best behaviour, And what was really good, I met with one of the vice chancellors, David Dunn, at the end of one of the days, and we sat down, and he was asking questions, and I basically said, look, do you want the honest answers from me, or do you want me to still be on my best behaviour? And he opened up on me, and so I got to tell him what I thought about all the unbelievable opportunities and how I felt that we could be really successful at Charlotte. And so, you know, I had a lot of help from people, you know, putting my name forward for the job, some great alums at the program who are here cheering the boys on this weekend. And so, you know, there's always great candidates for every college job. They're so well sought after, and just hopefully they're still happy that they gave us the opportunity. And you know, it's been a great run so far, and hopefully we'll keep doing well out on the field.
You've been in the States now, is it maybe 20 years or pushing 20?
Yeah, that's more than 20
more
now.
Than 20.
I've actually lived in the States longer than England now, yeah.
And I know you still go home to see family and friends, but you've become Americanized, I guess, in a lot of ways. I heard you drop a y'all the other day.
No, I still drink hot tea rather than sweet tea.
But tell us about how this, would you have ever thought when you came over and it was going to be just for Esther and Bakersfield, and now you've been 20 years?
You never look forward that far when you're young. You don't know what you're going to do the next day when you're 18 years old. But no, it's been a great experience, and certainly I wouldn't change for anything. And just met so many great people, and the generosity of all the people I've met through my career, and the wonderful relationships we've forged, and all the coaches I've worked with, all of the players I've worked with, all of the people in the different communities. You know, you can go into all different arenas, all different types of job. Some of them are better paid, some of them are more prestigious, or some of them are harder work. But I think what's really special about the coaching is that you just get to be around people, and you get to see players grow, evolve. You get to see people get excited about the work you do, and you know, and when things go right and you're fortunate, you get to generate pride amongst people, and that's something that's pretty special as a coach. It's special for any person to be around people that love what they do, and I think that's the great draw for all coaches, that you get to do, you know, you get to work in a sport that you love. You're too old to run around and play it anymore, so you got to stay in it somehow. And I just think it's just, you know, everybody thinks coaches, the most exciting things are the games. Obviously they're exciting, but the games flash by so quickly, and there's such a short period of time in the year. What's really special is the time you spend around the guys, and all of the fun you have, and all of the ridiculous stories that they leave college with, just hoping that they've all had the best 4 years of their life, really.
It's very refreshing having you and your team here. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I know you got people waiting on you.
Thank you so much.